censorship of the internet, which obviously targets the left. And it looks as if Russiagate will never go away. And we are also watching this up close by the media's faux or fake presentation of the United States' transparent attempt to carry out an illegal coup d'etat in Venezuela. But it is not surprising that the corporate publishers, editors, and reporters do what they do. Here are a few reasons. They make too much money to rock the boat. They have access to power and they like it. They also believe in the worldview they present, and if they don't, they better get in line, or they are quickly marginalized or eliminated. But the assault on Julian Assange and Chelsea Manning and others who risk their careers, the well-being of their families, and their lives must be put into some kind of historical context. I'll just comment on a few that I think stand out in my observations. One, the ruling sectors learned lessons during the Vietnam War as how to diffuse potential opposition to United States war-making. Being a member of the generation that protested that war, when we watched Cronkite or Huntley and Brinkley, reporters like Maurice Safer, etc., were on the ground in Vietnam, and by 1967 and 1968 presented to us the horrific effects of United States aggression on the Vietnamese people, images that increased the anti-war conviction in the United States. The Pentagon does not allow that anymore. Over the past 30 years or more, United States reporters must be embedded with the troops. The intent is obvious. It is to have reporters developing rapport with the troops, thus lessening the chance that they will be critical of those wars. When we watch the video that Chelsea Manning and WikiLeaks released back in 2010 of the U.S. pilots killing innocent people in Iraq, that was something that the ruling sectors did not want us to see. A second point is that international reporters that step out of line have been and are targeted and oftentimes killed, both to stop them from reporting and also to intimidate other reporters. Three, the ruling sectors have and do clamp down on whistleblowers that are trying to expose crimes and malfeasance. Chelsea Manning is obviously one of these. In fact, Obama prosecuted more whistleblowers under the 1917 Espionage Act than all previous presidents combined, and this will be increased. I need one more. In conclusion, the intensified assault on the right of citizens to know what their government is doing, reflected in how and why Julian Assange and Chelsea Manning are being treated the way they are, is not an isolated development. It is an integral manifestation of the combined crises the United States faces at this historical moment. Those combined crises are: one, the crisis of United States global dominance or hegemony in relationship to the rise of China and Russia as global powers; the crisis of capitalism, which exponentially makes the few super wealthy and the rest of humanity poor; and the vitriolic internecine warfare between the Democrats and the Republicans. There are only two options that citizens of the world have, quoting Rosa Luxemburg: either barbarism or socialism. What is certain, if the United States on the course we are on, the trajectory is one, permanent war and an inevitable world war, the collapse of governance, political authoritarianism, and creeping fascism, and exponential climate catastrophe rushing towards extinction. This is why Julian Assange and Chelsea Manning must be free. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, George. We can resist. We must resist. Free Julian Assange.
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 Free Julian
No
Assange.
extradition.
No rendition.
No rendition.
No
No
rendition.
extradition.
No extradition. Free
Hands
Julian
off.
Assange. Hands off Julian
Julian
Assange.
Assange.
Hands off Julian Assange.
Free Julian Assange.
Hands off Julian Assange.
No extradition.
No extradition.
Free Julian Assange.
Free Julian Assange. So, you want to speak?
Yeah.
Okay. So our next speaker is Nozomi, and she is Nozomi Hayase, and she's a longtime writer and activist for the press, for human rights, and for Julian Assange. Welcome, Nozomi.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday, Julian Assange's fight against U.S. extradition began. The U.S. charged him with conspiracy to commit computer intrusion with former U.S. military intelligence analyst Joshua Manning, related to the 2010 release of classified material. His extradition was framed as a case about hacking. But let's make this clear. Assange was charged for doing journalism, publishing information critical for democracy in the public interest at the scale and the speed that was unprecedented. Although the Department of Justice press release on the indictment accused him of hacking a government computer, the actual indictment accused him of protecting the anonymity of his source. The indictment against Assange signals the criminalization of journalism, specifically punishing critical aspect of journalistic practice related to a story gathering for news